Oh, backstretch. Yes, because please let's also remember, I do have as many fucking injuries as I do. Yeah, and I know all the vets are gonna be like, oh, yep. Kristen Beck's story. I saw that movie a few days ago, and it said a lot to me. It said a lot to me in a lot of respects. And not mentioning any names, but I've got a good friend of mine from, although I don't think he would mind if I did mention names, but I try to maintain respect for privacy for other people, so let him decide or not. Anyway, he was a she when we were in the army together, and he told me that he came out to me online and through chat by telling me he was thinking about telling his family something, and I'm like, not because of any judgment or label or anything, but because I just suddenly got really put out of my depth. Because I don't know what the fuck to say. I've got nothing to compare but a listen, you know, and bit of a double take. Okay, but I keep going, you know. And that many things have been coming together. That's how things come together in my head. And I am not this smart, guys. But it's like all of the puzzle pieces throughout my entire life, through everything I've ever read or ever seen or ever anything, it's just like all of a sudden I'm dipping. What I was saying to my psychologist is that it's like this multi-dimensional, multi-sided Rubik's Cube that's constantly click, 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 click. And when it clicks, it's like I get it, you know? And I get it. Quite often at the very same fucking time, I either say it or write it. Which is why I liken this to channeling. Yes, God. Yes, God. Yes, God. Because I just needed to. I was already looking. I was already being the best person I knew how, and many people would tell me that's a better person than most. I was trying really, really, really hard to be a good person, and it was really hard to try because I was overcoming a lot. And I was looking for God. I was looking all over the world. All kinds of piles of shit. I was looking. And I had to die to find God. I had to die to find God. I went to hell because my sin was that I didn't believe that I deserved to go to heaven. And if I didn't believe I did, how could I convince him that, well, him, it, God, he, she, the giver of life, the taker of life, the one? How? And that is why suicide and murder is wrong. Is because God is the giver of life. And God is the only one meant to be the taker of life. Even the Dalai Lama eats meat. He eats it because of a medical condition, where, at least this is the story I've heard, and I believe is true. It might be complete fabrication, but even then it doesn't really matter because it still makes sense to the Buddhist principles. And I do predominantly consider myself Buddhist because I view, not for the dogma or anything like that, I'm actually multi-religious, or something. Um, labels. Um, but hey, I gotta help you understand somehow, right? It is my understanding, although it may not be current, it may not even be the current Dalai Lama, it may have been an old Dalai Lama, I don't know, but I remember it being in my head the Dalai Lama and eating meat. The Dalai Lama, in my head, whichever one it was, if it was one at all, had a medical condition, and the the only real thing they could do for it was say, hey, you gotta eat meat. He's like, okay, shit. Well, I can either stand my own principles and become mission ineffective because I have damaged government property. I remember being yeah, this is an AIT. Holy fuck, man. And the thing is, I knew the guy. We were friends. And he was a good guy, but he was also stubborn as fuck and just could have been a little smarter, right? And we're in AIT, and I think he was pulling guard duty or something, because I remember it was the middle of the night. We're like, holy fuck, how did that happen middle of the night? Because he told me, like, no, somebody else told me. Somebody on CQ. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Dude went out and put his fucking fist into the fire ants repeatedly so that his thing got, like, all fucked up. I remember seeing it. It was fucked up. And so I remember asking him when I saw it, I'm like, how the fuck could you keep doing that? How could you let them bite you that many times? I mean, dude had bites on bites. Anyway, he was gone for a bit because the instructors fucking sent him to the brig for destruction of government property. Okay. Makes sense. You are government property when you signed that line. When you say yes to God, you are not. God is the one that is allowed to take life. And sometimes God takes life using us to do it. Whoa, mind blown. The difference is your belief. Do you believe you deserve to go to heaven? Or do you believe you deserve to go to hell? Whoa, now let's complicate this shit a little bit more. Let's go in a little deeper. Oh my god, I remember water training. Anyway, you mean because let's go in a little deeper, shall we? Okay. So for anybody to even get near the point of being able to decide if they deserve to go to heaven or not, you gotta stop the screams. You gotta stop the screams. You gotta let go. You gotta stop clinging to the shit that's holding you down. Because you know what? That weight that's pulling you down and drowning you, you're holding on to it. Just let it go. Okay, so first off, you gotta let the shit go. Okay? Just like in water training, you've got your fucking blackout and your gear on, and you're like, you're fucking freezing. Click, let go. Okay? But then, that's why you got the blackouts and shit. Which way's up? Whoa, wait a second. Huh? The weight of the vest was holding you down. Okay? First thing you gotta do is let go. Let the screams fade. Stop punishing yourself. fucking drop your gear. You're drowning. Then you got to calm yourself enough to allow your body to feel the gravity of which way is up. And that's why we were blindfolded. That's why we had blackout goggles. So we couldn't know which way was up. We're spun around, we're knocked down, we're shoved in. And, we're fucking in this gear with these blankets. We don't know what the fuck's going on, and we're freezing the fuck. Even God is wrathful. Trust me. But that is because God is all. Because God has no doubt. That which we, the other, the not God, that is doubt. That is uncertainty. That is Eve plucking the apple because she decided she needed to know what it tastes like. And yeah, she got the apple of knowledge. Okay. But knowledge precedes wisdom. We obviously have enough knowledge. Look at how fast we're evolving. Holy fuck. We cannot continue keeping at this speed. Just look at the facts. Pick any of them. They're all saying the same things. Reason, balance, certainty, learning to ask the right questions instead of chasing some fictitious answers because they're not even there. That somebody told you should go look for. Holy fuck. Are you starting to realize now how increasingly every fucking thing in your life is exactly what you deserve? Because you didn't say no. Because you didn't stop. Because you were Dr. Milgram's behavioral experiment that would shock a person to you believed beyond death. Because somebody told you to. All you would have to do is say no. All they had to do was say no. And yeah, of course they say no. And they're like, no, this is important. You gotta, okay. In the movie, they only showed one dude that got up and walked out. And nobody in the research got up and checked on the person they thought was dead when they thought they did it. And the research started off with thinking the board and everybody that permitted him his little experiment said that not anybody was going to do it. Nobody's, what a waste of time. Holy fuck. Whoa, Rude Awakening watching this is like back in the 60s. May as well say back in the Stone Age, comparatively. Now that we live in an age where we have neurologically altered our children to the point they literally can do like 5 things at once while listening to music and playing a video game. We have neurologically altered our children behaviorally because of our social culture. Look at the impact it's had on the brain. Look at the impact the brain has had on the ability. Take care of your equipment. You are not your body. Your body is your equipment. Maintain your equipment. If we were to look at this shit like a fucking NCO, goddamn humanity's been fucked, but we allowed the shit show to go. because we wanted to see how far you were going to push it. Well, it's time to fucking fall in line. Jesus. Yeah, and I say fuck, because you know what? The only reason cursing is rude is because of the meaning and perception you associate to it. So my cursing is your problem, not mine. And yeah, guess what? I say Jesus too, because that's not taking the Lord's name in vain. If anything, it's an issue of faith. And who are you to condemn me about faith? So again, your distress is going to have no impact on me, and it's going to affect you. So, who really has the power in a situation where I'm doing exactly what I'm going to do anyway because it's me, and you're taking offense? Not my problem, yeah.